Inside Out 2 is absolutely smashing it at the box office, breaking records and making us all say Pixar is back. And after watching the movie twice, I am finally ready to give you my ultimate ranking of all the emotions in Riley's mind. I'm Connor for SLUURP, and this is every emotion in Inside Out 2 ranked from worst to best. Number 10. Envy. Okay, so this actually might be a hot take, but I think envy is the only emotion that I didn't really like in Inside Out 2. I mean, she wasn't offensive or anything, but didn't think her characterization matched the emotion of envy. I kind of feel she was just there as a character for anxiety to bounce off, at times just acting like a mini anxiety. It's a shame, because I like Io Debris, and yeah, get that bad girl, but I feel more could have been done with envy in the movie, and she didn't really have any memorable moments. Honestly, I wonder at times if you could have even called her greed or something else instead. So for all of those reasons, envy is at the bottom of our list. Number 9. Fear. Honestly, when I first heard Bill Hader wasn't returning to play Fear in Inside Out 2, I was kind of worried and wonder if this was going to be an indication that the whole sequel was going to be a quick and sloppy cash grab. This was not the case, and Tony Hale absolutely nailed it. I don't think I was even really able to tell the difference between the two portrayals, so honestly, really great work. Fear is more of a background character this time around, hence why he's so low on this list. But even still, he has a few nice moments. I particularly liked how he wanted to change anxiety. That was hilarious.
I don't like her words, and I do not like her actions. I just think I can change her. You know what?
So yeah, in the end, not a character that is going to blow you away, and not someone who has particularly memorable scenes, but still good for some laughs. Number 8. Embarrassment. Although this big fella isn't much of a talker, he is perfectly realised in Inside Out 2. And I do mean perfectly realised, like, damn, that boy is thicker than Helen Parr, goddamn. I've always liked the gentle giant archetype, and this dude is just the sweetest of them all. I really loved his interactions with Sadness. They had such a cool understanding and connection even without words. It's almost surprising that Embarrassment wasn't an emotion earlier in this franchise, as he seems so important to so many of Riley's social situations, and in a way that's why he isn't higher on this list. While the character maximised every moment he was on screen, I kind of feel he should have taken control a little bit more often given the situations Riley found herself in. But yeah, overall, love this new addition, and Embarrassment gaining self-confidence but also worrying he's overdoing it was adorable. Number 7. Sadness. If this was Inside Out 1, Sadness would probably be in my number 1 spot on this list. That first movie was really about sadness and joy. Ultimately, in this second outing though, Sadness took a little bit of a backseat, but still had enough nice moments. One of my favourite things about this movie was how much trust and respect Joy now had for Sadness. Like how Toy Story 2 embraced Woody and Buzz's new dynamic, it was the same for Sadness and Joy here. More on that later. It was great to see Sadness now as such an important part of the team that she was even trusted on her own solo mission. So yeah, if Sadness was your favourite emotion the first time around, then maybe you'll be a little bit disappointed she's not the focus here. But still a great character nevertheless. Number 6. Nostalgia. So here's the thing, I really did almost consider putting Nostalgia at number 1 on this list. I just thought she was perfect. I mean, her being a little old lady, the rose-coloured glasses, oh my god, chef's kiss Pixar. I had no idea that this was a character that had already been revealed in the marketing campaign and teaser trailers, so it was such a welcome surprise each time she popped up for a short nostalgic gag. Ultimately, I had to drop it down a few places because in reality, she was just there for comedic relief, but even still, with that said, I really hope we get more nostalgia in the third movie. If everybody has a different emotion leading them, then for me, it could very well be nostalgia. God bless that little lady. Number 5. Disgust. I never really had much of an opinion on Disgust after the first movie, to be honest with you. I mean, she had a few nice moments, but I always saw her more of a side character. So colour me surprised, I actually walked out of Inside Out 2 thinking Disgust might be one of my favourite characters. It probably helps that the OG core emotions all got to head off on an adventure outside of headquarters this time around. I was really digging Disgust very early in the movie, especially that scene where various versions of the emotion analysed as subtleties in the looks Riley and her friends are giving each other. But the reason why Disgust is so high on this list is because she is a part of what might be my favourite scene in any piece of entertainment this year. Of course I'm talking about her relationship with Lance Slashblade. I mean, you might think he was the one doing all the heavy comedic work in this scene, but you know, Disgust really holds her own here and was getting a lot of laughs out of me too. Also a big shout out to Lisa Lapira, who replaced Mindy Kaling as Disgust in this movie seamlessly. Number 4. Anger. Anger was undoubtedly one of the highlights of the first movie, and exactly the same is true here. Anger always gets the best one-liners, moments like,
"Oh, there they are.
Wait, aren't those traitors dead to us?
Our best friends."
are gonna live rent-free in my head forever. Oh, and also I have to mention his interactions with Pouchy. I mean, come on, this was great stuff. Wait, hold up. Why does that look like it feels really good? Moving on, what I came to actually appreciate here was how much development Anger actually has had across these two movies. I mean, seeing him soften up a bit in 2 is quite refreshing. For example, when he drew Riley buying sunflowers for the losing team in Anxiety Sweatshop in Imagination Land. So yeah, overall a really solid showing for Anger, and he is a character I can't wait to see how he continues to develop in the third movie. And as a side note, it was actually his complexity as a character that had me wondering, are we going to go into the head of the emotions themselves? I don't know, maybe that's too far. Number 3. Wee Wee. I think I might get a little bit of stick for having Ennui so high on my list, but what a freaking mood. This character never really did anything crucial towards the plot or progressed the story in any meaningful way, but even still, I just adored every moment Ennui was on screen. From the character's design to how the animators chose to make the character move, I think this was one of the best realised emotions in the movie. Also, Ennui gets extra credit for creating the sarcasm, which is one of my favourite gags of the movie. Number 2. Joy. I shouldn't like Joy as much as I do, because in reality, I'm dead inside. But yeah, somehow this happy-go-lucky character is so endearing to me. I adored that the movie made it repeatedly and very clear that Joy hadn't magically forgotten the lessons she learned in the first movie. She was very good the whole time about making sure each emotion stepped up when they needed to. And on that note, I really love the part where Riley gets out of the car and Joy encourages Sadness to take the reins and let it out. So I said I shouldn't like Joy as much as I do. I should find her annoying, but I don't, because she is so complex. She isn't a one-dimensional character, she has so many emotions, and this is really clear in those incredible moments when she breaks down. I think it's now clear that Joy is the real solo lead of this franchise, and honestly, she deserves to be. Also, a final shout out to this extremely poignant line of dialogue.
Maybe this is what happens when you grow up. You feel less joy.
Number 1. Anxiety. While I joked about putting nostalgia at the top of my list, in all honesty, this spot always belonged to Anxiety. I mean, come on, this was such a poignant way to cover anxiety. The panic attack scene was a twisted yet beautiful climax. I can't speak to this personally, but many online are calling this an absolute accurate depiction of a panic attack. I think Pixar has created another absolute classic moment here that we'll be talking about for years and decades to come. Oh, and I also have to shout out what a creative idea it was to have Anxiety employing the imagination to help her think up the worst case scenarios. This was such a clever way to depict what many of us do to ourselves when we feel anxious in our head. While she is no doubt an antagonist, I really like that Disney didn't demonize Anxiety, because nowadays society is very afraid of hearing that word. Feeling anxiety is normal. The bad thing is when you let it take control over you and prevent you from feeling other things in your life. that's when it becomes a disorder. So yeah, that's my list. Of course this is pretty subjective, so I'd be extremely interested to find out from all of you where you'd rank all 10 emotions. Make sure you leave that in the comment section down below. If you want more Inside Out 2 coverage, then be sure to check out the whole mirage of videos we have on the channel right now. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. I've been Connor for SLUURP, and I'll see ya in the next one.